Hey there, I am K-othic, and today I'm here with a new review featuring K-othic in a nutshell. Casey kindly provided me with this model to give a honest review, so a big thank to them. These in-ear monitors are Casey's first iteration in 2023, where they venture into the market of earphones with switches, allowing you to change the sound signature of the driver. They are currently available for around $20 to $25 on AliExpress, and let's jump straight into the contents of the box. Despite costing almost double than KC's CBX, they come in a practically identical box, only with a different image. Inside, you can find the pair of IMs with their switch tool, various pairs of ear tips, and the cable. First, let's talk about the IMs. They come with a new dynamic driver with dual magnetic circuit and dual cavity from KC. Their build is based on polished, shiny metal, and they have a slightly triangular shape, as you can see. On the top, we have the switches, which I'll discuss in the sound description. And on the side, there is a 2-pin QTC connector. In summary, they are very well designed. Moving on to the cable, the website claims it to be a professional silver-plated cable, but it doesn't feel any different from the typical cheap cable with a 2-pin connector that the brand usually includes with their budget IMs. The good thing is that this one didn't have any defects like the CBX cable did. Then, the quantity of ear tips really surprised me. There are a total of 7 pairs. On one hand, we have 6 pairs of silicone tips with different styles and sizes, but all of them are whiteboard tips. KC also provided us with a pair of medium-sized foam tips. I mentioned the size of the tips because it wasn't the right fit for my ears, and it might be the same for other people. Most of the time, I used the medium-sized transparent silicone tips, which provided a good seal. Lastly, I would like to add that these IMs offer great comfort when the right tips are selected. Despite their robust build, they don't feel heavy in the ear canal. They provide good isolation from the outside noise and are recommended for noisy environments. Having covered all of this, let's move on how they sound. The sound segment with this type of IMs is quite challenging because we are not analyzing just one tuning but multiple ones. First and foremost, among the 16 sound signatures that these IMs offer, some of them are very similar to each other because the switches only increase or decrease the bass by 1 dB. That's why I focus on 3 particular sound signatures. But first, I need to inform you how I'll be talking about the switches. So, I'll be using the abbreviations U and D. U, which means the switch is in the on position, like the number 3 and number 4, and D, which means the switch is in the off position, like the number 1 and number 2. So, the tunings tested were D, 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 U, which is the most neutral I've heard, U, 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 D, which enhances the sub-bass the most, and finally D, D, U, U, which was my preferred tuning where I found the best balance across all frequencies. To keep the video in line with the in a nutshell premise, I'll provide a general summary of the 3 mentioned configurations. Firstly, I found D, 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 U to be similar to the IEF neutral target, as seen in a dotted line on the measurements. This sound signature enhances the mid and high frequencies, giving them a sense of weight while slightly decreasing bass impact, but without losing all of it. In my experience, this configuration works well with music with many string instruments, such as classical string quartets or genres with electric guitars, like heavy metal, where it brings out the texture of each note in these instruments. It also enhances vocals, giving them a more authoritative character, making it ideal for listening to soloists like Sinatra. Next, I tested U, 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 D, I found this sound signature focused quite a bit on the sub-bass frequencies, but without them being excessively exaggerated. It let me enjoy electronic music such as EDM songs, as it made the sub-bass and bass more visceral, giving those songs a fun profile. However, it wasn't my preferred choice, as it significantly alters the balance of sounds in songs with many vocals or instruments in the mid-frequencies. Last but not least, the configuration that I enjoyed the most and best suited the diversity of genres I listened to was DDUU, which has 1 or 2 dB less sub-bass compared to UUUD. On paper, this may not seem like much, but when listening to it, I could notice a more balanced sound signature with good sub-bass extension. The bass sounded punchy and had authority, but with a smooth transition towards the mid-range, which sounded organic and retained the variety of sounds in each song more effectively. That's it for the sum up. For a more comprehensive description of my experience with DeFi, I provided a link in the description where you can read the full review, including comparison across different genres with these configurations. To conclude this segment, the soundstage of these IEMs in most configurations has a good amount of width, but I found the stage to be slightly compact in terms of depth. Additionally, the instrument separation and level of detail offered by the DeFi is adequate for the price, but also comparable to other IEMs below $50. In conclusion, DeFi was a solid success from KC, and I easily give them a 4-star rating. I believe these in-ear monitors are ideal for people who listen to a diverse range of musical genres and desire earphones that can adapt effectively to those needs. Moreover, they come with a generous array of accessories and have an outstanding build given the price. At around $25, they represent a great purchase in my opinion. Hey, thanks for watching the video. I hope this review was useful for you. In the description you can find all my previous reviews, and I see you the next weekend with more audio gear reviews. See ya!